Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Rob Wieland. My pronouns are he, him. I am an author, game designer, and professional nerd. And tonight I am the host of Theater of the Mind Players, your friendly local actual play show.
Ya flaps. Ya flaps.
Tonight is an unusual start for one of our campaigns here on Theater of the Mind Players for two reasons. One, this is a Session 0 episode where we build our characters, talk about the story that we want to tell, and sort of set things up. And we record all of our Session 0s, but normally they are exclusive for our friends of Patreon. So if you want to listen to the primordial creation of our stories, please be sure to sign up for our Patreon, because you'll be able to hear all of them, essentially. But we decided to put this one out in front of everybody because it's an unusual game for us. Why is it unusual? Well, it's a 5e based RPG. Now, I know what now we talk about how we love to play all the games outside of Dungeons and Dragons, and we do, but we also like 5e. And we also are excited that our friends at Atlas Games came to us to talk about their 5e setting that they're putting out there this year, and they wanted us to show off the game. And we said yes, because we like them, and also because the game that they gave us is so unusual. It's very striking. It's very different, and we felt that the setting alone was enough. Like, we're not just going to be playing Forgotten Realms. We're not going to be doing, well met, stranger, and that kind of thing. The usual D&D stuff, because of the way that the setting is set up. And that is, the name of the setting is Planegea. It is, per their marketing copy on the back of, or in the book, a world of kinetic action, primordial horror, and mystic wonder in a prehistoric campaign setting. We have gotten close to running 5e based games before, and we decided not to, but we took a look at this setting and we're very excited to do it. So we have decided this year to change things up a little bit and kick off 2023 with our first ever 5e campaign. Now, who are we bringing along on this particular fun adventure? We will, of course, have some very familiar faces here. So right now, what I'd like everybody to do is we'll go around the table, introduce yourself, your pronouns, and what made you decide, after looking at Planegea, that yes, we want to do this as our first big campaign of 2023. So any preferences on which way we're going? Let's go this way.
Hello, my name is Tony Cheek, he, him. I am a voiceover actor as well as a writer. As I was looking through the Planegea thing, I saw that they listed their influences and stuff that they took to kind of form Planegea, and some of them were like Mad Max and Conan the Barbarian, and they just listed all this stuff that I really love, and I'm like, wait, D&D mixed with like Mad Max and Conan the Barbarian and just all this stuff that I already love? That sounds really fun and interesting. So that nice little twist on it really got me excited.
All right, let's move on to our next mind player.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Fishburne, she, her. I like dinosaurs. You can play dinosaurs in this game. You'll notice later on in the episode when we build out that.
And Jordan picks a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Jordan has picked 3 dinosaurs,
Yep.
And will choose one depending on what classes are not filed out by other players.
We'll whittle them down, but I like dinosaurs. That
On the
was
spot. What's your favorite dinosaur?
my favorite dinosaur of all time is the Triceratops.
Bitch, we gonna fight.
What's wrong with the Triceratops?
I fucking fucking love the Triceratops.
Why do you gotta
do we have to
fight?
fight?
Why
This-
can't you
this
just
seems
make
like-
a Triceratops
I
club?
don't know. I just felt really aggressive about you saying you liked the Triceratops.
It's okay, Sarah. We don't have to compete. We can just love things together.
Okay.
I enjoy the plesiosaurus.
That's what we should have done. Is
Pick your favorite
Pick your
dinosaur.
favorite dinosaur, but
That we've already got through.
we.
It's cool.
Tony would have to Google something. Let's move on to
I actually am Googling my.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's move on to our next mind player.
Hi, I'm Sarah Babe, she, they, and I was told there would be dinosaurs. That's
Dinosaurs are a big appeal in this game, and there are both dinosaur people and also dinosaur monsters, including a woolly unicorn.
Ooh.
stop. Can I play one?
No.
Wait, Sarah, do you like Triceratops? Because Sarah from Land Before Time?
Yep.
Perfect. Completely understandable. Wonderful.
Did you catch the
I did. It's good.
Jordan's like 10 out of 10. No notes.
I still have the hand puppets from Pizza Hut.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
Sarah and Ducky.
We're
And
playing
I have a
D&D on
stuffed-
camera, Tony.
and I have a
I
stuffed
don't know if you know
little foot.
this.
This is Tony again. Favorite dinosaur is wherever the one little foot is. That one.
It's a Brontosaurus.
Yeah.
According to Google, that is not what it is.
Is
A
it a Patasaurus?
Yes.
Oh, they changed it.
They
It
changed
used
the
to be a
name.
Brontosaurus.
Not
okay.
Siri, go away.
That's right. They did change.
We will have. I do have something I want to talk about Brachiosaurus versus Brontosaurus / Apatosaurus later
Okay.
on.
Oh yeah.
What?
Hi, I'm Ethan Eichstedt Anderson, he, him, and my favorite dinosaur is the Spinosaurus.
Ooh.
It was one of the only fully aquatic dinosaurs. And
Wouldn't that
also,
just be a shark?
dinosaurs are
Megalodon?
required to have hips underneath their body, not on the sides or fins. That's why they're birds. 'Cause that's how you identify birds as well. Because they're dinosaurs. And I like dinosaurs, like lots of other people.
It works, man. I mean, people play mainline D&D because they're like, I like elves. Let's move on to our final mind player for our very serious discussion about why we all love dinosaurs when we play this game.
Hi, I'm Tawny P. Thompson, she, hers, actor, fight choreographer, writer, I guess now. That's a thing that I do. And okay, firstly, my favorite dinosaur is the plesiosaurus, as I previously said, mostly because I like the Loch Ness Monster, and there's a lot of word that probably the Loch Ness Monster is a plesiosaurus if it exists. Also because pleiosauruses are really cool and they have fun teeth and flippers. But the reason I was excited to play this game, yes, it is. Its name is a plesiosaurus, dinosaurus, genus of extinct large marine sauropterygian reptile.
My tooth is sorest.
Okay, whatever. I like them. Anyhow, I was excited to play this game because I don't know that I've ever played an RPG that was set prehistoric ever. And I thought it was a kind of a neat concept. And then I also really enjoyed some of the lore they created within the, it's all really well thought out. And there's like a lot of societal stuff in here too.
And there are also a lot of clever twists on things. Like the twists are clever enough that you can still play the basic version of a thing and it's fine. So if you have somebody in your group that isn't necessarily like super into dinosaurs, which first of all, how dare you? But secondly, they can still be like, well, I just want to play a fighter, man. Like, okay, great. The main difference is you have a bone sword now instead of a steel broadsword. Like, that's it. But there are also some unique takes that make you look at different classes and things in different lights. My favorite dinosaur is the Dilophosaurus, aka the spitting dinosaur from Jurassic Park.
Killed Newman.
Yes, that's why I love this dinosaur so much. Surprised nobody said Velociraptor. Or is that like too basic for a dinosaur?
I feel like it's
Dinosaur.
too easy.
I
And
leave-
Velociraptors are like the pumpkin spice.
not only that, but the popularized media for the Velociraptor isn't actually correct to what Velociraptors would actually be. So it's it's hard to pick them because people are going to think about Jurassic Park and not think about the little tiny dinosaurs. It really is a lot closer to them.
Also,
Dinosaur.
I lean towards the
pet.
T-Rex because at the end of Jurassic Park, the T-Rex came in like a bouse and smacked those fucking velociraptors.
Jordan, I've been playing role-playing games with you on camera for almost 5 years now, and that is the nerdiest shit I've ever heard you say.
Damn, I really need to
Like
step it up.
You forgot during Tales of the Loop when or maybe it was Things from the Flood, when Jordan had a bunch of rat facts.
oh, you're right. Okay, I'll have to rebalance that.
Revise.
Look at the scores. Okay, so here are the things that I love about Planegea, and they were summed up directly in that sort of opening blurb that I quoted. It is a game of kinetic action. I really like the idea that we're going to be doing some fun set piece combats here. I think one of the things that 5th edition does really well is the set piece battle. Like when I have run D&D in the past, I really enjoy kind of that, like, okay, this is the big fight that they're going to have, and then this is going to happen, and then this is the layer actions that they have, and then on turn 3, this thing blows up, and we really haven't done a game like that here. Maybe I think Fallout probably was the closest that we've done to something like that, where I really was like, okay, here's the action scene. So I'm really excited to be doing stuff like that. Primordial horror. If you haven't already guessed, we like horror around here on this show, and we and some of our most successful shows are horror shows, and some of our least successful shows are horror shows. But
trash bed.
the idea that there are basically everything outside of the reach of the campfire light could kill you, and that makes it a scary setting, just because you don't know what's going to happen. So because the world is still in flux and things are still coming together, this isn't a game where you see a kobold and go, oh, okay, well, I know how to handle these guys. And although I did notice from a game designer standpoint that basically, here's my Raptor trash talk, they designed raptors like kobolds. Like
I did see that.
And the pack hunter, like squishy guys that first level you're like, oh god, and then like third level you're like, you jerks. And then the last thing is mystic wonder. And that's where, because this world is still coming together, you get to see weird, wild stuff. This is where you get to see waterfalls flowing the other way, and like towns on the mounted on the back of a pack of brachiosauruses, and those big vistas that are kind of cutscenes in video games, or like, here's where the CGI budget went, baby. Like, the swooping pack of pterodons that go through the valleys and all that stuff, and I really am excited to tell a tale in a world that has those elements built in, because sometimes I think D&D games get bogged down in realism, which is a weird thing to say about games that have elves and magic, but people get very like, well, that's not, that kind of sword is not actually the kind of sword that you would use for this situation. It's like, not in this game, guys. This is gonna be funky. So, speaking of setting stuff, I guess I want to discuss a couple of ideas that I had that I want to see as far as the premise. Like, I talked a little bit off camera about the villain. We won't talk about that here, but I think we set up an excellent connection between a few different characters that we'll reveal as we play. The other thing I want to talk about are the clans. The game really centers around, rather than like the tavern, the clan fire, which is the big bonfire that you set up at night, and that's sort of the literal heart of your group. So clans can be big, clans can be small, and I think there are advantages and disadvantages to each. And that's what I want to discuss here is, do you all want to be part of a larger clan? Or do you want to be your own small clan with just the 5 of you? Ooh. So the advantage of being part of the larger clan is you know, we can tie you more directly into the setting, and you have resources and you know, people that you can ask for help. But you also have obligations, and you also automatically have enemies, and you know, it's kind of a trade-off of, you know, yes, you're part of a bigger organization, but that organization then expects things from you, and sometimes, or you might run into people who don't like that organization and they want to stab you in the face. If you are your own small clan, you only have yourselves to rely on, but you're all PCs, so that means that the focus of everything kind of reflects back on just you guys. Though it still would be interesting to discuss, like, well, why did you leave that other clan, you know, or what allowed you to break away? Was it a choice that you made? Were you exiles that kind of came together and were like, well, everybody else thinks we smell like poop, so I guess we're here today. So what do you think you guys want to do?
I appreciate the implications of both options.
I'm kind of leaning and larger clan because NPCs.
I'm kind of leaning smaller clan because no NPCs.
How about F you?
So 1 and 1.
Yeah, Tony, the tie-breaking vote is going to come down to you. You know this, right?
I vote for medium clan because
It's us and one other guy.
One option's too hot, one option's too cold.
this option's just right.
So I
His
guess
name is Oog and he carries our stuff.
I guess the question is whether or not we want to all kind of be like the outsiders, right? Or if we want to fit into a larger picture.
You mean like Ralph Macchio and
Or Kevin Nash and Scott Nall.
Or are you the only remnants of a larger clan that got eaten?
That's very D&D.
That's like both.
That is both. That is chocolate and peanut butter that I have combined together for you.
But then we have all of the resources and whatever to deal with by ourselves.
I think having a large clan would give us more ties into a brand new world that we're looking at.
Whole new world. A magic.
The Tricera block over here is unstoppable. Okay.
So that's where I'm voting for a larger clan. I do see the profit of having a small one for sure. But I think if we wanted more of an outcast type bent, we could have been absorbed into the clan from an outside clan.
Well, and even if you are part of a larger clan, that doesn't mean that you are all equally accepted within the clan. So if somebody wants to be Broody Pants Wolverine, they can certainly go and do that.
Could each of our favorite dinosaurs be like our Zords, and we'll be Power Rangers of the...
That's an entirely different...
Yeah, that is a different thing. It does exist, though.
Although I will say, if you do play your own clan, you get to pick a dinosaur to be like your, like...
Oh, we can't do that. We'll fight forever.
We have to do a large clan.
Large clan it is.
Well,
Problem solved.
Welcome to the Tricera Road to Apano and Tirana River Clan.
We would have to compromise and make the most awful
Welcome to the
smorgasbord dinosaur.
Beanie and Cecil clan.
So this is what happens when 7 dinosaurs all die in one spot, and 3,000 years later, someone finds them in the year 1800 and tries to put them all together as one dinosaur.
Our dinosaur.
This has happened.
We are
will
part
be
of
the camel of horses.
We are the clan Voltron.
So there are 4 big clans that are part of this world. They are the Whale Clan, the Ape Clan, the Lion Clan, and the Bear Clan.
We should choose.
I knew you were gonna do that.
that.
I heard Lamb Clan.
Are we going by the as a
Can we get through the entire game with doing that voice the entire time, though? I think it'll take too long to
talk about the elite gamers? Are we going with the skill proficiencies and tool proficiencies given by that clan?
Or whichever clan.
Because they all have a base table.
Yeah. They all have
of
their.
what they're.
They also
So,
have like
well, let me run through each via the background, and I feel like
Page 75.
Thank you.
I feel like you don't have to take the same. You all don't have to take the same background. I feel like maybe if you take that background, you are like. Maybe you're like royalty, or maybe you're like, in a leader. You're in line for leadership. Plus, that also means that I also don't want to everybody to take it because I want to be. If you want to tell that story of I was Boar Clan, but what I married into you guys, or yada yada yada. So the Ape Clan are dedicated to the reverence of Ko Many Arms, the ape god. Your people know that there is nothing more important than being nimble of mind and body, with the arts of acrobatics, riddles, crafting, and musical instruments. As a member of one of the three brother clans, you are used to commanding a certain degree of respect. But above all, you have dwelt in the shadow of the moody and dangerous Ko, with the awareness that life is perched on a fragile branch.
So their special feature is Dreamwalkers.
If you are a member of that clan, you have a connection to the dream world of Nod, which is a place that you can physically travel to, as opposed to also just fall asleep and have a dream. Then there's the Bear Clan, the Unstoppable Bear Clan, worshippers of unkillable Urhosh, the bear god. Your people wrestle with bears and half-giants, feast on honeycomb and fresh-caught fish, and know what it is to laugh and boast all night at a banquet table. The Bear Clan teaches people to live life to the fullest, believing the value of life is in joy and courage. As a member of one of the three brother clans, you command respect in the Great Valley, and having more than enough of everything in the bounty of Urhosh. If you take that as a background, you get the Master of the Feast, which basically means you know how to throw a party, which is important in these particular times.
Party clan.
Boop, boop.
Bear Delta Phi or whatever. Bear Delta Pi.
The Lion Clan reveres the infinite gaze of Glech, the unblinking. Glel, I think. It's going to be a lot of weird pronunciations. You were taught to be stoic and never show discomfort, and to remove yourself from the physical world in order to better perceive reality. Your people emphasize taking the long view, enduring all the things with a peaceful heart. The slopes of the Lion Clan summer territory are covered in paint, sculptures, bright powders, and creations of all kinds. Do you see everything through the lens of perspective with an artist's eye? And that goes into the special feature. Even if you're not an artist, you appreciate art for art's sake. So they're kind of the fancy art clan, I guess. And then the other four big clan is the Whale Clan. You hail from the ever-shifting isles of Scattersea, and voyaging is in your blood. Change is all you knew in your time with the clan, moving from island to island and village to village. Your family's boat is the only constant. The Whale Clan is a matriarchal culture that holds respect and curiosity as essential. Why were you sent out from your family? How did you come to be where you are now? I can tell you that the campaign that I have in mind does involve a journey.
Can it be a boat journey?
It could be a boat journey, but I also will say that that doesn't mean that it has to be the Whale Clan. Because one of the sections of the rules that I really enjoyed reading were the travel rules, because you are going out into this big wide world, and things aren't what they seem. Mm-hmm. So that this is going to be a travel narrative. I would because of that, I also thought that your vehicle, for lack of a better term, would be a giant domesticated dinosaur. my initial thought was a Brachiosaurus or an Apatosaurus, and that you basically live on the back of, literally, as it travels throughout wherever. But there are also, I'm sure, many excellent sea-based options. Like as soon as I finished reading that, I'm like, or I could give them a giant turtle.
A plesiosaur.
Maybe a war turtle?
War turtle.
I prefer Blastoise.
Hell yeah.
This is a long-standing issue.
I'm down with Whale Clan. I can be a tropical tree.
I could be a webfoot dinosaur. Honestly.
Well, are there any of the other clans that people really grabbed into? It looks like
Party Clan sounds fun.
Yeah, the Bear Clan was another one I was looking
The
at.
Dreamwalkers seem interesting.
Well, and you can still choose those as backgrounds should you wish.
The Lion Clan sounded cool too, with like an artist eye and appreciating beauty, which would be really nice for this beautiful world that's brand new and.
So it sounds like everyone is at the very least. It sounds like we can put the Ape Clan to the side because nobody really was like, "Yay, Ape Clan!"
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
All right, so that narrows it down to 3. Okay. So Bear Clan, Lion Clan, Whale Clan.
Yeah, Tony.
Yep, Tony, you are the tie-breaking vote.
I voted for Bear Clan, so
Yeah, but there were 2 and 2 of the other 2, so you have to swap.
Bear or whale?
No, lion or whale.
Lion or whale?
okay. Then I'm going to say the Lion Clan.
That was incorrect. I'm so sorry.
Is it? Okay, Whale Clan.
No, Lion Clan it is.
Lion
Okay.
Clan.
So, might I suggest that perhaps, as far as what you do is you pack up your Brachiosaur or Apatosaur. You guys can hash this out, and travel through the away out of the Great Valley, and basically trade art. So statuary, like you collect art from the
Whale Clan.
artisans, various artisans, and that way you also can bring back art from other clans and cultures, and inspire the Lion Clan artisans.
So we just go around going, "This belongs in a museum."
Kinda, yeah.
Or you're the Partridge Family, you just go around and you paint it up.
We all get 1 level as a bard.
Honestly, when we were potentially doing Whale Clan, I was changing my design idea to be a webfoot bard. So I could come from the Lion Clan to the Whale Clan.
I'm a raptor.
But now that's not going to happen. So.
I'm honestly shocked that I was the only one voting for Bear Clan. I thought everybody was on the same page.
It
We did
was
Whale
hard.
Clan, we could have had a sea shanty as our
That's all right.
song.
That's all right.
You could make one and be from the Whale Clan.
Okay.
It's a song we could bring to the Lion Clan.
So it seems like we have a kind of a conceit. I will say that the fact that there was a tiebreaker vote between Lion and Whale Clan tells me that I should probably include some Whale Clan content. Not just because.
That would be fun.
Well, it also does fit into like the sketched out idea that I have for the campaign. So
Mad at my choice, please send all your hate mail to 123 I'm sorry.
At I'mSorry.com.
or, I was going to say, or if they're mad at your choice, they can join our Patreon and
Let us know in our Discord.
yeah. One of the reasons why I suggested a large load bearing animal is because being traders brings you close to dealing with what are known as the Black Taboos. This is one of my favorite setting bits. There are these strange creatures called the Hounds of the Blind Heaven. And they
Yes.
enforce the Stone Age status of the world. because if you break one of the black taboos, they appear out of nowhere and they take the offending being somewhere else. That's why the three big black taboos are that writing is death.
Writing?
Writing, yes.
Which, if you are playing a wizard, basically means that you are, every time you give yourself a new tattoo, you are basically coming right up to the edge of calling the hounds down on you. Which I'm sure
Do you understand why we all thought you were going to be that?
What?
The skin
It is.
walker?
Spell skin, she is.
Yep, spell skin. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
assumed you were going to do that.
I just made it like 20% cooler. Like, so it's like, wait,
I assumed you knew that, and that's okay.
The second most common black taboo is that there are no numbers after 9.
What? I'm loving my potential barbarian build right now.
Anything beyond 9 is many. That's it.
Rob, does that mean when we roll to attack and we say we rolled many?
No.
Numbers?
Yes, no, that is an in-world distinction. Nice try, though.
I looked into that.
I rolled many.
There were many numbers on the block that I threw on the ground.
I will then make sure to always set the TN as many plus 1. And the last major black taboo is there are no wheels and there is no money. So it's all trade and barter.
So there are definitely more doors than wheels in the world.
Yes.
But we're allowed sledges.
The closer it gets to like a straight up wheel, that's when the blind hounds notice it. But like roller,
Didn't it say something about axles being like a wheel attached to an axle is like the ultimate?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, do you want to argue with the extra dimensional entity as it peels through reality? Like, well, actually, you see, this is
Yes, I do actually.
Well,
the DM.
That's good that you want to play a wizard then, because you may get your chance.
The Brachiosaurus has a smaller tail, and I feel like that would make it easier to maneuver around our dinosaur as he's running and doing something. Or if we're going to be riding on top of him, and a longer tail would be easier to do the Fred Flintstone slide down the back into like a kick if we're being attacked out in the wild while we're traveling. And then we should do a Patasaurus.
Jordan sounds very passionate about this, and I'm fine with it.
I was like, you choose. You get out every dinosaur book that you bought since you were like 5 years old. And
Can we have cars we drive with our feet?
no, because that would be
You would have a
an
wheel
accident.
on it, yeah.
Well, I mean, the wheels could just be triangles and it'll just be harder.
How do they feel about octagons?
Closer to a wheel. You got to ask the blind hounds about that one. See if you come back from it.
Like, I like that you were.
Excuse me, Mr. Blind Hound.
I like that you were imagining the blind hounds as like referees who like throw a flag and are like illegal shape.
Is this a yellow card or a red card?
15 hit points. Repeat third round of combat.
Yellow card or a red card?
I would die if that happened during a D&D round of combat, honestly.
You've gotten 2 yellow cards now. You need to sit out the rest of the game.
Okay, so it sounds like Jordan has chosen the make and model of your dinosaur transport.
The Apatosaurus.
Okay. I also suggested this because it seems like the kind of thing that will allow you to transport from location to location, but isn't like
Convenient.
well, it's not something that you can necessarily like use to like sick on somebody during a fight. Like, well, why are we gonna fight these guys? We'll just have Stompy go get him.
15 raptors pulling our.
Meanwhile, Stompy, okay, what do you do on your initiative, Stompy? I eat a tree.
You went out and bought a late model Apatosaurus with high mileage on it, but this baby can fit so many people on it. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of mileage on him, but really, the framework's Good on.
All right, what do you do on your initiative, Stompy? I walk in a slow circle, and then I sit down.
Yeah, Stompy's a Buick.
Yeah. Now that we have the sort of group conceit here, let's start building characters. So some folks have characters in mind, and I feel like those are the people whose heads are down right now that are already making choices. Is anybody choosing to play an ancestry that is from the main D&D book?
I was thinking about being a dwarf.
Okay, so tell me what's different. Do you know what's different about dwarves?
That they are from the rock, and that they actually still have rock as part of their bodies.
Oh,
The book phrases it way better than I did.
that's okay. That's why they're a professional writer. But that's great because there are they do talk about the classic races, and many of them they have kind of twists and turns that aren't necessarily connected to the what you might think. So like dwarves are born out of rock, elves are wanderers of the land of Nod, which basically makes them living dreams. Halflings are creepy and like talking whispers.
Oh, really? It was really hard not to be a halfling or gnome. I'm not going to lie. I just like dinosaurs so much I couldn't not do it. But it was
The halfling does
tempting.
read like something you would play in this book.
Can you have a halfling mom and a dino dad?
I mean, I could be adopted.
But also it sounds like so everyone except Tony, I think, has chosen one of the lineages, or they call them kinships, that are unique to the game. So let's start with the Dreyas.
Yeah, I have chosen to play Adreas, which are tree people who decided at one point or another to walk around.
Okay. So
How quickly will you be talking?
Immediately.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay.
did you choose? Did you do all the charts? You choose
No, I am going to choose what kind of tree I was after I decide what class I'm going to be.
Okay.
Because I think, certain trees lend themselves to different,
You're right.
Yeah.
So Ethan, you're going to be a half ooze, as I recall.
I am.
So what do you like about the half ooze? What's neat about them?
They are. How do I word this? So the whole concept is you were a creature at one time, and then you died, and then your corpse was inhabited more or less by an ooze entity kind of thing. So you have slight memories of your past, but also these weird ooze abilities, like the ability to stretch or shrink. Like all your weapons technically have reach because you can stretch your arm far enough to hit someone.
Dear Atlas, did you build this type of character for Ethan specifically?
However, if you stretch limbs, then you have negative impact to your AC. So it's one of those pro-con kind of things, as well as you can increase your walking speed by stretching and that kind of stuff. It's just it's a fun mechanic to be played with in the 5e setting.
Did you decide what type you were going to be? Acidic,
Like
magical?
Tawny, I was waiting on.
Okay. Well,
Our class.
class.
discussion.
we'll I guess we'll do another round once everybody has picked a class. So Sarah, you're going with Starling. as
Yeah, I
recall.
was yeah, Starling.
She briefly flirted with Murder Halfling, but
Oh, not even briefly flirting. Like, I had a character ready.
we had a couple of hookups. It was hot.
And I was also thinking of a bardic gnome again because I mean that's like super fun. And I was also thinking of what do they call the tieflings in this? It's God
Got touched.
I was thinking of a tiefling mainly because my sister got these adorable little like clip-on horns for me for Christmas, and I was like, oh, so yeah, but I want to glow.
The Starlings also tie into one of the bits of lore that I really enjoy in the game, in that there is no specific sun. What happens at the end of the day is that all of the stars in the sky start to spin and race around in this huge thing that's called the Dawn Duel, and they basically do like a Mario Kart star dance race thing.
Rainbow Road.
And that's the thing. One by one, they fall into the sea of stars until the one remaining star, when they win, they get to be the sun for the day, and they basically do a victory lap as the sun.
So Rainbow Road with no railings.
Yeah. And the starlings are the stars who get knocked out of the sky and miss the sea of stars to go back in, and instead land in Planegea and are kind of like, what?
Where the fuck did this planet come from? I was specifically aiming for the nothing.
Shoot for the moon. Even if you'll miss, you'll land among the... Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks. Too soon.
Burn.
I'm saving that one in my back pocket for a good moment.
I'm excited. This will be great.
Also, I like that starling names are all vowels.
All vowels. That's brilliant.
That was one of my favorite things about Drea names. Is that Drea names, they have long, unpronounceable tree names that can only be spoken in Sylvan, which sound like rustling leaves and creaking branches.
With all this dinosaur talk, we of course have to come to Jordan, who had you literally built a character for each one of the dinosaur types in.
I sure did.
Okay,
I sure did do that.
See, usually like Tawny is the one who comes in with 5 different
ideas. I just have 4 ideas.
But okay. So what are the 3 different saurians? There are the leather wings, or there are 4 actually.
There's 4, yes. You have your sharp fangs, which would be your velociraptors of the world. You have your leather wings, which would be your pterosaurs. And then you have hammer tails, which are...
Ankylosaurus?
I think it's that one.
Yeah, because that's the baby one that's in the Camprostaceus.
Ankylosaur.
Yeah, Ankylosaur.
Ankylosaur. I always mess that one up. And then webfoot, which are aquatic type dinosaurs, of which I couldn't think of any when I was looking stuff up. But ducks. Yeah.
Dinosaur. Hadrosaurs.
Hey, there you go. So I have an idea for all of those ones.
And is this another? We'll see who picks what class, and you'll go with that one.
Essentially, I could list you guys my options because I could be a bard, or I could be a wizard, or I could be a barbarian, or I could be a rogue.
I feel like I also have 3 options.
I also have 3 options.
Okay, so
I've actually decided.
Well, guess what? It's post time. So Tony, I think in our pre-discussion, we had discussed about you being a cleric.
Yeah, basically there was 3 that I was debating between, which was paladin, which is actually a guardian, a warlock, or a cleric, and it seemed consensus was on the concept that I have that cleric was the best option.
Well, what character are you basing your character on?
Yeah, so we're all friends here. I feel like I can be transparent with all you out there. I'm basing my character entirely on the character of Moon Knight.
Tony, ripping off media for a D&D character is a time-honored tradition.
Yes.
So, like, what aspects of the moon do you want your character to reflect? Because we can basically pick 2 domains.
What did you say?
Pretty.
So, like, what do you want your character to be?
Moon Knight stuff.
Which is?
I want him to be able to fight.
Okay.
I would like him to be able to maybe manipulate the tides. Yeah, I know there was that one episode of the show where he was able to just fucking change what fucking year it was.
We should have done the whale clan if you could manipulate the fucking tides.
I was thinking that after the fact, but Rob was like, nope, you decided. And I was like, shit.
Yeah. Because otherwise then 5 minutes later, you'll be like, actually, why don't we go back and do the other thing?
Yeah.
So some domain ideas include things such as knowledge, life, light, nature, tempest, trickery, or war. If you want to fight, I feel like war is probably a domain that you want to choose here. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I feel like light would also fit.
Yeah.
And I also feel like trickery would be a good moon god idea. So, which of those sounds the most interesting to you?
Am I picking one to go along with war?
You're picking. I think you pick one domain.
Yeah, you get one domain.
Okay. Oh man, war, light, and trickery all sound really fun.
So, like the light domain gives you access to spells like Burning Hands, Fairy Fire, Flaming Sphere, Scorching Ray, Fireball, that kind of stuff. Like those are all fighting spells.
Right.
For the trickery domain, that lets you like create illusions and like do more like charm person, disguise self, mirror image, pass without trace. That's more trickery stuff. War.
Yeah.
What is
What
it
is
good
it
for?
good for?
Fuck's sake.
The answer is absolutely nothing, Tony.
You.
Good God, y'all.
You can. So as a war priest, you also basically get additional attacks.
Okay.
And you can also channel the divinity to strike with supernatural accuracy and give yourself like a +10 bonus.
Ooh.
Oh, and eventually you'll be able to give that to other people too.
Oh, shit.
And that gives you things like Divine Faith, Divine Favor, Shield of Faith, Magic Weapon, Spiritual Weapon, that kind of stuff.
In that case, I think I gotta go the warrior priest.
Okay. I think that's a great choice.
Yeah.
Yay, we've chosen a class. Now, Sarah is also going with a wizard.
Yeah.
Now, tell me what's different about do you know what's different about wizards in this setting?
In this setting, wizards don't use like spell scrolls or anything like that, and because they can't do writing, they have mana tattoos which are on their body that they use for doing spells.
You guys are all great.
We'll be opening our magic show.
So, what school of magic did you choose?
I haven't chosen a school yet.
Okay.
I think I want to go like something elemental-ish, which I'm not entirely super familiar with all of the different spell things.
What level are we starting at? I don't know. Did we ever actually nail that down?
I've decided that we're starting at level 3.
Perfect.
Because that will let us get in. We're going to level up every 3 episodes, and that will let us get a little deeper into the powers and abilities in the game, and that also opens up the different kind of creatures that you can interact with. Plus, even the designers of 5th edition basically admitted that the first 2 levels are sort of the tutorial levels.
Yeah.
So that way we're jumping. And we're jumping into a slightly deeper end because we've all played D&D. We know how this works. So let's get to the fun stuff as opposed to the I have hit a rat. Oh no, the rat has hitten me. Oh no.
I believe then you have made my decision for me.
Okay.
Because I would like then to be
Bear Clan.
an aesthetic, which is the Planegea version of a monk.
Okay.
I played a monk in the past, but we never got past level 2. Jordan.
Wow. Dang. That's rude.
Wow.
Just stretching.
And I really enjoyed even at level 2. I thought it was a good time. So,
What do you know? What type of monk you're
yeah, so they do have a very specific kind in here, which is the Way of Abnegation. Which is just slightly different than the ones in the book, which I think could be super fun. And it kind of helped me settle in my background because I'm going to take the Vows and Pilgrimages version, which is going to inform why I decided to become a Dreas instead of a tree.
Okay. So
quick point of order. I'm looking at the magical origins for the spells, and they don't show any schools for the Starling. It's page 103.
In the main text, it says, any character of any kinship has access to whatever magic is granted by the features and abilities, but the origins of magic are visible in the casting of the spells, and the different types of magic show the culture who first discovered the secret. So,
Oh, okay.
the way that I'm reading that is, you probably learned that from somebody from a different kinship, whichever kinship is connected to whatever school you wanted.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Perhaps, if I may.
Yeah.
The person who found you when you fell out of the sky.
Yeah, that sounds legit. You know magic. Can it get me back to the sky? Okay. Yeah. I'll be like, that's not a no.
As far as ability scores, we're going to use the standard array.
Okay.
Which is for everyone at home: 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Many.
Many. 8. Monk, wizard, cleric.
Do you have any idea?
Several.
What do
You need
Yeah,
to be a
the idea.
barbarian.
It's not that we don't have any ideas. It's that everybody has 8 of them.
Do any of your ideas overlap with my ideas?
All of them.
You
I
also.
don't know what your ideas are.
My ideas are barbarians or rogues.
Okay.
Because the other ones got taken by other characters, and I would prefer not to be a bard.
Part of me feels that bards could be fun, but we already have 2 spellcasters, and one of which could heal. So it seems unnecessary if we're gonna min-max this party.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do we have someone who's going to be our healer?
Right now we have a cleric, which has the ability to heal. However, with the war domain, it doesn't focus on healing.
Yeah.
So playing a secondary bard could be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because bards can heal.
Yeah.
That's,
Through the power of chant.
And Webfoot also has a trumpet, which is a crest on the top of their head that they can make a loud trumpeting noise for that could be heard for miles and miles and miles. So that's why I went for bard for them, because they like to be loud and noisy.
But you're just telling us how you don't want to be.
Rob, I am a complicated individual.
I think you should seriously channel
My barb,
Peanuts.
I don't want to be a dumb barbarian this time.
Don't be a dumb barbarian then.
I
Just
want to
be a barbarian. Be smart.
a quiet, lovely barbarian that appreciates sound and art and beautiful things.
that's fine.
And then gets kind of mad sometimes.
Do that.
Okay, I'll be a barbarian. I'll make the choice, even though I really want to be every character that I made.
Part of me was also debating on just being a standard Battlemaster fighter, because with the battle maneuvers mixed with the available reach options, it could make for a fun combat simulation, but I think that might be better for a different group of gamers.
That's fair. Also, I couldn't stop thinking about how
Trying to unpack the implications of that. But
I can't help thinking about how the ooze feature makes it very helpful for stealing things.
Yes, one of the body options is being a sticky ooze,
Yeah.
which helps with thievery and climbing.
Question. Do we have to stick to the domains in the player's handbook?
do you have a different one that you want?
There is one. I remembered one that I did when Tawny was running a different campaign called the Twilight Domain, and it's actually very moon focused.
Perfect.
Great.
Then I will be a rogue.
Roguey rogues.
All right.
The rogue
Yay!
monk combination is fantastic.
I think he's trying to simulate the ooze move. That's Ethan, might I suggest that you buy at least one pool noodle?
We could
And
just
just put a knife in the end of it.
yeah, or like a fake hand.
I got enough rubber knives around here.
Yeah, no, the rubber knife or
Sticky hands.
Oh God.
So now let's talk a little bit about backgrounds. There are 20 backgrounds in the Planegea book that tie people into the setting directly, but also backgrounds from any of the 5e sources are useful here. I feel like once we get all these pieces together, that's basically what we need as far as that. So, Jordan and I talked a little bit about this off camera, and it sounds like she wants to do kind of a like gentle giant-ish character of like somebody who maybe sought out to seek glory through, violence and raiding, and then once got there was like,
This feels
this
bad,
sucks.
bro.
It's bad, yo.
So I feel like before my character really went out into the world, like when you're young and you're training and you're getting your skills and everything like that, you don't know what it's actually like, even if you've been in fights before, to truly be out by yourself and not with like the support that you had at your back. When she finally pushed out on her own, she joined a raider clan for the raider background. And she only really got maybe one raid in before she was like, nah, this is pretty bad, actually. I'm not a fan of this.
I'm thinking a lot of the way that Finn was portrayed in The Force Awakens, where he like pulls his helmet off and is like,
yeah. That aching regret, knowing that you've been a part of something that has harmed others.
It's one thing to ya. It's another thing to then hear all the kids screaming as the tents go up and as
the fire starts and yeah. So I feel like that lends into her background.
Okay. Are you going to choose the bonds out of the ones that are on the page, or are you going to randomly roll them, or what do you want to do with that?
I
because some people
scrolled away from that.
It's 92 on the PDF.
Ooh, how useful would a whip be as a weapon?
I think fine. Like you're mostly going to be doing spell stuff, so
unless I'm a blade singer.
Ooh. They do make whips that have blades on the end, and that's the thing. They do also have those swords that are actually kind of like a whip. They're really, really hard to learn properly because you wind up cutting your arms off as you learn how to use them.
Like what about Ivy from Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
That's what that would be, I think.
Okay. So just classify it as a whip?
Yeah, it's a whip or a longsword. Depending on what, and you have to spend like a reaction or minor action to switch between the two.
Okay.
What background, do you have a background in mind?
I think put background. Hold on a second.
While Sarah looks, I'll do the bond thing really quick. I tend not to roll for bonds because I usually like to make the decision consciously. Mm-hmm. There are two on here that I'm very fond of. One is which a raid gone wrong opened my eyes to a different way of life. I now seek to restore life wherever I can, which is very sweet. But I think I'm going to go with every night before I sleep, I swear an oath to return to my old pack and kill the warlord I used to serve.
Ooh.
Because she's not nice. She just doesn't like to kill people that didn't also sign up to shed blood.
So, do you think that clan possibly held captives at any point?
A raider party?
Yeah.
I think it's very possible.
All right.
I
know how I know you.
Okay.
I was going for Astral Drifter.
Okay, what is that from?
That's just from the D and the D.
Okay.
For longer than you can remember, you have traversed the astral.
Oh
sea.
yeah, that's out of Spelljammer, I think.
Yeah, if you're okay with that.
Yeah,
it just basically means like wanderlusty tragedy, and I have like a divine contact apparently.
Okay,
which I think would be great because I can have the divine contact of Corleon, god of art and magic.
All right. So, in this in Planegea, gods are tied to specific areas.
Okay.
And what I'm picturing here is a Vishnu style many armed god.
Okay.
Each arm represents a different type of artisanry. So
Ooh.
like one arm holds like a paintbrush and one arm holds like a
Chisel.
like a chisel, and like one is in a like theatrical like oratory pose and things like that. So I think that is maybe the god that you are tied to or have a connection with.
It's really just my cousin.
You know, Fred. Then that's perfectly fine. I feel like that. Yeah, I like that.
So it's my cousin?
Well, maybe it is another starling who decided who became a god here on the plane, as opposed to trying to get back to the Sea of Stars.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah.
I apologize for being so short about it. But
Sometimes we get like
we get there.
We get there.
Colloquial cousin. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
The Romani cousin.
If you are looking for name ideas,
I was actually just going to stick with Io. Unless you had a better idea. Because I was like, oh, I could do Iowa. Oh, wait. That just sounds like Iowa.
that's the problem with fantasy names is you're like.
At least you didn't say Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Ioku.
Ioku?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ethan, would you have a background?
As an ooze, I'm confused on how I should do it. Because I had a background, and then I died, and now I don't remember that background, and now I'm an ooze for a short period of time.
Well, I feel like you could still pick a background with the idea of you're doing the whole, like, you know, people are like, hey, Fred, how have you been? Good. You got that money I got that money that I owed you? Thank you.
Hounds come down. Roar, no money.
Yeah, or
Only
and then
9 left.
And then you turn around and somebody slaps you and is like, how dare you, I can't believe you left me on that night. Sorry?
Daddy!
Oh, no.
So then maybe I should grab the outcast background
Okay.
from the Planegea book.
Okay. Tawny?
So I randomly rolled on the reasons I was enticed to become a Dreas. And I got a gatherer from a local tribe for whom you developed feelings that you had no name for. So I think what I've decided is I fell in love with a random gatherer who I kept seeing gathering things in my grove of trees. And I decided to follow him, but he was gone and he went to the big city. And on my way, trying to find my way to the big city, I ran into a group of raiders who captured me. And so I went with captive background from the Planegea book.
Okay.
And I think that's maybe how I met Mungo. What were you naming your?
I haven't picked a name yet because they're all cool names like Hammertail. Or no, that's not correct. They're all cool names like names that I'm looking at right now, like Leopard Spot or Thick Skull or Long Legs.
So, and I have
Pretty
decided
tail.
that they started calling me Pinecone because obviously they couldn't pronounce my name, which was.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
spruce trees have cute little pine cones.
Okay. Like Quiet Storm or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony. Now we're back to you.
All right, so I was debating between either apprentice, because that's the shaman apprentice, which made sense, or an outcast, as though like maybe I was outcast, I was on my own, and I found this moon deity which is why I became so attached to them, because I was alone. So I'm debating which way to go. Like, was I brought into it, or did I get it out of desperation?
Well, what appeals to both of those?
Well, I feel like the desperation one of the outcast leans more into the actual source material of Moon Knight, whereas The Apprentice seems to fit narratively within the Planegea book. Both give, the problem is they both give skill proficiencies that are completely helpful, so it doesn't really help narrow it down. Apprentice, you get Shaman's Aid, and then Outcast, you get the Shelter Finder. So that, again, both very useful.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
Please do.
Chieftain's Kin.
Ooh.
You know how you wanted to be a bear clan?
Yeah?
Maybe it's a situation where you were all set up to become a chief of the bear clan, and the moon god called you.
Oh.
And you were like, I gotta go, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that.
Curveball. That way you get to bring in the a little bit of the bear clan.
Yeah. I like that a lot, actually.
It seems like everybody has the race, the class, the background. Those are the three main pieces. We're going to do the math off camera, which is best for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we will return next week with our first episode of Planegea. And based on the characters that we've built here, I'm very excited to see. We've already got a few character connections. We've got some backgrounds. And I'm very excited for you to see them go up against the forces of the main villain, She Who Rises. You'll learn more about her as we start to play, but in the meantime, for Theater of the Mind players, we are...
Tawny P. Thompson.
Ethan Exit Anderson.
Sarah Babe.
Jordan Fishburne.
Tony Indecisive Cheek.
And our Lord of the Board,
Brad Davies.
From all of us here at Theater of the Mind players, we'd like to remind you that, to repeat to yourself, it's just a game. You should really just relax. Congratulations, fellow human! You've reached the end of an exciting episode of Theater of the Mind players. If you enjoyed our story, please like the video. If you want more games, subscribe to our channel. Attack the bell for notifications on new posts. If you liked the episode, please tell us what you enjoyed the most in the comments. If you loved the episode, consider joining our Patreon. You'll get access to special shows, session zeros, and help us determine what we play on the show. We love our friends of Pat Rayon, and we hope to see you there.